Hi, everybody. Welcome to Quarantine Cafe. I am here right now with Monika Ryan, a great jazz singer from New York City. And how are you doing, Monika? How's your quarantine going? And yeah, where are you at? How's life?
Thank you so much, Callum. I'm so thrilled to be part of this wonderful show. I am originally from New York. Now I live in central New Jersey.
Oh,
Near,
cool.
yeah, my quarantine is going okay. It's a different experience than any of us have ever had, but I'm growing a lot of vegetables and I'm writing some music. I'm doing a lot of teaching. I teach music and writing music, so it's chugging along. I'm a parent, so that's busy because they're doing school at home.
Yep.
So, but it's going well, I think. I think we are in a more comfortable position than many people. We're not stuck in an apartment. So I'm thankful for that. Oh, my cat's just knocked over something.
I love it. It's always funny doing these things, because everybody's at home. So you kind of just hear the sounds of the house.
The sounds of the house. I know my kids are out in the backyard with my husband, but the cats are in the house knocking things over. That's all right.
So can you tell us a little bit about what you played for us and what the listeners are about to hear?
Yes. Okay. So because of my very busy teaching schedule and course planning schedule and parenting and farming, I had written some stuff, but I didn't have a chance to really perfect it. So rather than, I always like to do something new as part of my shows. All my live shows have something that's totally new. I'll either write something new for it or I will improvise something. So what I did for this was also the other part is that I play my instruments okay, but I always hire people who play them better. So here I am, I'm a primary singer songwriter. That's my primary focus. And I play a little piano and a little guitar and a little ukulele. So I decided to improvise vocally with vocal pedals. And so all of that vocal pedal work is just improvisation for this moment in time. The fresh for this moment, baked just for now. And then I did a song called Creative Process from an album I recorded in 2014 called Involution. And then I did a song on the ukulele, I Honor, which was released last year on a Lullabies album.
Very cool. Okay, and let's give that a listen, and then we'll be back and we'll talk a little bit more.
Baba ding boom ding ding gong. Baba ding boom ding ding gong. Baba ding boom ding ding ding. Baba ding boom ding ding ding. Baba ding boom ding ding ding. Baba ding boom ding ding. Baba ding dong ding 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 ding ding. Baba dum gum ging ging Baba dum gum ging Baba dum gum ging
Please
Baba dum
say you'll stay,
Baba dum gum ging
don't do anything reckless, because I love you.
Baba dum gum
And I can't imagine a world without
Baba dum
you.
Baba dum gum
Bless yourself, my love.
Baba dum gum
Take
Baba dum
for if you should go,
Baba dum Baba dum Baba dum
I would fall
Baba
into
dum
despair.
Baba dum Baba dum
Our love is like a
Baba dum
dream
Baba dum
that feeds my
Baba dum
soul.
Baba dum
You make
Baba
me
dum
all that I am, and you keep me whole. Be safe, be safe, be safe, my love.
Baba dum
Be safe, be safe, be safe, my love.
Baba dum
Be safe, be safe, be safe, my love. In these dangerous, dangerous times. In these dangerous, in these dangerous times.
Baba dum Baba dum Baba dum Baba dum Baba dum Baba dum
Be safe, be safe, my love. I need to know you'll always be there. Be safe, be safe, be safe, be safe, be safe, my love. For if you were gone, I would surely fall into despair.
And we're back with Monika Ryan. So Monika, something that you talked a little bit about using the pedals. I thought that was really cool, and I was wondering as I was watching it, like before we aired it or whatever. Was that partly inspired by the fact that like you literally can't have a band right now?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I had been doing some work without a band, but usually, I mean, historically, I usually hire a band for live shows. I will occasionally do a show with just me, but generally speaking, I like to hire people who specialize in their instrument the way I specialize in mine.
Yep.
So yes, it's partially because I'm by myself, but I had been already working with pedals a little bit.
Cool.
So, the joy of sort of layering concept and creating something totally different, it was partially because of the restriction, but it was partially something I've already been enjoying. I don't know if that's a
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. So I don't like you use some cool stuff. So I guess you were using what, like a harmonizer, a delay, and some kind of reverb. And I might be missing something though.
I had 4 pedals going, and they're all by TC Helicon, and I am not sponsored by them, but they really do make the best vocal pedals.
Hmm.
I think personally, my
Yeah.
preference. But I used a harmonizer. I did use a delay that had reverb, and I used a Ditto looper.
Cool.
And then that was one set of 3. And then the fourth one was like the mother load one that has everything on it. But I basically just used a delay echo on that one. So I had the 2 microphones because I like to be able to jump back and forth without, I'm not fluid enough with the pedals where I have presets going. I just, again, for some reason, it feels more organic to just set it so that I can really focus on the music.
Yep.
For some people, it's that fluid, but for me, when I'm in it, I want to sort of almost abandon to it and don't want to think about knobs and things. For other people, it's more fluid.
So like another thing that I really liked about your performance was how I guess like theatrical it was. You know, like it felt like an important part of it was like the staging and the lighting and like your outfit and everything, you know, like how did you come up with that? And do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Thank you. I am I I am a natural performer when I perform. It's I enjoy all kinds of performances. So I don't think there's a right way or a wrong way to go about performance, but I like to have an immersive experience with people. I like to take them someplace else, sort of give them a break from their reality and take them to another place where they can let that go. And so having a fully immersive space and state comes with sort of all of these costumes and curtains and lights, and I'm very intentional and deliberate about all of that. And that's something I've developed over the years. I do that in my live shows. I will have, things on the stage that I, use as sort of a visual expression. I actually just finished teaching a class for School of Rock in Princeton on performance. And one of the things that we talked about is sort of getting to know thyself, and then all of your performance persona is part of yourself. It's just sort of a deeper part or a more far-fetched part. So all of my performance branches out of the type of message and the music creation. It's all influenced by the music and the person that the music comes from. Is that too abstract?
No, that makes perfect sense to me, actually.
I honor the truth in you. I honor the truth in me. I honor the still and quiet. I honor the wild and free. I honor the wisdom old. I honor the knowledge new. I honor the realm we can touch. I honor the realm we see through. Dimensions folding on dimensions, extensions rolling out in space, echoes swirling and unwinding, billowing, unfurling, layered in one place. I honor the lessons learned. I honor the yet unknown. I honor the quest we take to find our way cracks that need mending. I honor the gardener's art. I honor the flames that need tending. I honor the poet's heart. Dimensions folding on dimensions, extensions rolling out of space, echoes swirling and unwinding, billowing, unfurling, laid in one place. I honor the silent prayer. I honor the rally cry. I honor the time we spend to understand why. I honor you. I honor me. I honor the things I cannot see. I honor love. I honor the truth. The truth. The truth in
And you touched on something, and I guess this is like the last thing that I want to ask you about, because we don't have like a whole lot of time for the interview. But so you mentioned that you're teaching. How have you
Yes.
found like virtual learning? You know, because we have a lot of people on this show, and a lot of them are teachers, because like a lot of musicians are teachers, right? Yeah, what has that been like for you? How's transitioning to that been?
Teaching via Zoom is interesting. I mean, on one hand, I'm so glad that I'm able, when I teach, I do the same thing when I'm performing, in the sense that I come at it with 150%. This is this person's moment, and it's their sacred moment to get into the music. And it's my job to teach them, to point out things they need to work on, but also to elevate them. So I'm really glad to be able to do that for people during this time, because people need it. They need that sort of, excitement and something to reach towards and something to do. So I'm really glad to be doing that for people. But it is much harder than in person.
Yeah.
I taught some classes where, all of the people are blank screens because they've turned their screens off and they've
Yeah.
muted it. And it's more like a lecture. You can't see how it's falling. You can't see whether you need to clarify, especially when going into abstract concept. You want to be able to know that the person is following you or the people are following you. But the one-on-one lessons are going fine. The classes went fine too. They were awkward for me.
Yeah.
But they were well attended. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
They would have to show up and tell me they liked it if they
Yeah.
out of the black screen, but it's my understanding that they were appreciated from the school. But yeah, it's very weird teaching to a group by Zoom.
It's funny. It sounds like it's a similar dynamic with performance over the internet now, I think, where you can't actually like vibe with the audience in the same way. I guess you can get like comments and things, but like it's not the same as like seeing somebody's face. Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, a huge, like another member of the band is the audience, right?
Yeah.
Like how, and what you do on stage has to do with their needs. Like if the vibe is heavy, you either will go homeopathically, like with the heavy,
Yeah.
or you'll bring it up a little bit. Like you have to feel the room. Or if there's, some people who are really dancing, you might go into that zone a little bit. It's really like it's a back and forth, like another musician, and that's not there. And you can see that in some like TV talk show hosts too, like some of the late night things. Some of them really have the rhythm of the fact that I'm entertaining by myself. It's lecture style. And some of them you can see really miss that audience.
Yeah.
I think we all just sort of have to get used to this until something new comes that allows us that.
Yeah, it's going to be a little while, I think, but it's an interesting dynamic to talk about anyway.
This is a song about the cycle of contraction to expansion to contraction to expansion. The symbiotic relationship between contraction and expansion. The seed does all the hard work under the ground so that the blossom can bloom. Without the seed's hard work, no bloom. The wave has to draw back to get power, to rush in. It can't rush in indefinitely. And if it did, it wouldn't be a wave. It would be a moving puddle. The power, the growth, is all in this cycle of contraction to expansion. You want to learn something new? You got to go within, study, pull back, so that you can rush forth bigger and better. Going inward to expand outwardly. It takes time and open eyes. It takes a measure of stillness to fully unwind and let the light pour in. Looking in, seeking out, going deep to know what your life's about. Breathing in, breathing out, stretching longer to go further than you've ever been before. It takes patience and joy to coax out your inner song. It takes acceptance and love to trust the song you find. The heart leads, the mind follows. The heart sets course, the mind must find a way to get there. a measure of stillness to fully unwind and let the light pour in. Just let the light pour in. Just let the light pour in. Dang gong gong dang gong 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 dang gong gong gai quay Thank you for your time. Time is the most precious commodity. Thank you for your time. Time is the most precious commodity. So I'm honored to share your riches with you.
And where can people find your music? Is it up on Spotify? Is it on Bandcamp?
It's yes, thank you for asking. It's on Spotify. It's on Apple Music. It's on iTunes. It's on some of it's on SoundCloud. I don't know if it's on Pandora. I don't actually follow it all that closely where it goes. It's out there in the universe. It's on my website. Yeah, but I have 11 CDs out, and they're all commercially released and on all streaming services. So
awesome. Well, hopefully people will go check that out after they see you on Quarantine Cafe. And is there anything, any like last words, anything you want to say to the audience before we're done?
I mean, I guess my main thing to say to everybody is find something that you really love to do and that takes care of you, and that is a positive thing, and do it. And when you're taken care of and in good shape, you're able to take care of other people. So that's one way we can help each other. We can't neglect ourselves. So if that's making music or making art or going for walks or whatever, don't forget you.
Great. Well, thank you so much. That was Monika Ryan. You can check out her stuff on Spotify. And I'm your host, Callum. And we'll see you guys tomorrow at noon.